Hey, hello. You're stuck in trouble with Wolf Gorlick. A few minutes riffing on IT and IT security. Today, looking at security orchestration and automation. You know, it was 50 years ago, right? I'm recording this in December of 2018. It was 50 years ago, in December of 1968, when Doug Engelbart gave the demo of all demos, right? That he strode onto the world stage and showed off the mouse, the graphical user interface, the precursor to the internet, everything in the demo to end all demos 50 years ago, 1968. 18 years ago, 2000, there was the Doug Engelbart Symposium. I remember watching it. I had to go into the office to do so because my home internet was still terrible. And the only way to get the videos was to be on a really good line, really good for those days. And his concept in that symposium, and really bubbling up from 1968 to that point, was all about bootstrapping, all about making people smarter, all about our collective intelligence, all about bringing forth the knowledge we all have into one area and then automating the responses, right? Intelligence augmentation. That was the main point of that theme. And it was very inspiring to me. I went to work on knowledge bases, I went to work on automation, scripts and everything, and did a lot at that time to figure out how we can harness the collective knowledge of my technical team. And today with cybersecurity, I think we're at that same point. 50 years after the demo, one of the most important things we can do in cybersecurity today is the orchestration, the automation, collecting all that intelligence and information we're all gathering every single day and putting it to work. So the tip for you as you start thinking forward what to do is to look at these SOAR tools, look at APIs, look at ways that we can do what we do better, faster. Look at ways we can collaborate better, faster. Look at ways we can act in an automated fashion, right? The only way to outrun malware, a machine, is to outrun it with automation, a machine. And some vendors are working on this problem. A lot of it has to do with opening up APIs and standardizing the way their tools, collect and interoperate. A lot of it has to do with just looking at the day-to-day things that we do in security operations centers all over the world, right? You got a sample malware, you throw in this tool, you look at this, you look at virus total, look at it over at this threat feed, let's correlate it with this thing. And you're doing all this manual work trying to get all these sources of information where other people have already done the analysis, right? And figure out, is this bad, is this good, do I need to act, is it a dedicated attacker, is it, drive-by malware, what am I looking at? One of the things I saw really recently, like 2-3 weeks ago, was Cisco's take on the Cisco threat response. So what Cisco did was they looked at that paradigm, the first part of incident response, and automated a lot of it, going out to their APIs to Teleos and the APIs to AMP and other things to pull the information in. So you throw in your signal and it does all the parsing using regex and goes out and does all the searches and brings information back. Really interesting, promising first step. Now we need to go beyond that, of course. We need to continue to look at ways that we can parse information out and automate that response, which is something that was missing from threat response, which was interesting to me because threat response doesn't respond to the threat. But it is very telling of the direction that our industry is going insofar as opening up the APIs and starting to bring together this wealth of tools that we have and this wealth of information on the internet that we have available to us into a pipeline that can be acted upon in terms of or in times of incident response. I think we're going to see more and more of that from vendors. And if you've seen something like that, you're like, oh, that was really cool automation. Oh, awesome. The way they orchestrated that was fantastic. Vendors, people in the industry doing things by hand, those sort of things, please hit me up in comments and social media. Cheers.